supposed to be somebody's husband. He's supposed to be somebody's dad. He's supposed to be the head of a household. But somehow along the way, something broke down, and this very valuable asset in the community who could have become anything is now just floating around like a disabled puppy, like literally a liability on those around him. And like in a lot of our families, give me a yes or no if you've seen this. Give me a yes or no if you've seen this in your own family. And like in a lot of families, the people carrying this little pathetic broken black man around are the women. The women in the family, the strong black women carrying the load for everybody, and God bless y'all for being strong. I think being strong is the ultimate compliment, but that is offensive to me. That is damn right embarrassing. I am so embarrassed to be in a community where the women are carrying the men. That is not a world I'm going to live in. Excuse me, y'all got me choking it. I refuse to be sitting to the sideline like a little punk while the women are doing all the work and carrying the load. That's not the community I'm living in. I'm sorry. That is not, no, hell to the no. I won't even let my wife take out the garbage. I'm like, no, you stay right. Stop. You're not pumping that gas. I'm doing this. Right. And I really think that sense of pride has to be something that we reinstill in our young men. We got to do this. And we got to reject all this wussified culture that they're putting on these men where they're teaching them to make excuses instead of actually trying, and I understand. I feel bad for them because, in my biases, I grew up with a father who didn't let me make excuses. My father did not let me. My father would laugh at me. He would call me the biggest bitch on earth if I was 27 years old, sitting at home up under my mama and ain't working. It's one thing if you live with your mama, you paying a third of the rent. I get that. That makes sense to me. But you sitting there like what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And here's the issue. The issue is that we just have so many things to work through, and the missing father is a big deal, and families break up for different reasons or whatever, and then you have what's being promoted in media. It's sad. They really want your men to be wimps. They want them to be broken. They want them to be irresponsible. They want them to be selfish. They want them to not think about anybody other than themselves. They want them to abandon their kids and abandon their women and everything else. And it breaks my heart. It just tears me up. And so whenever I see a situation like that, I'm sitting there thinking, ain't this a bitch? This guy's 27 years old, and he's a liability and a threat to the women around him. He's not protecting them. He's not providing for them. He's not coming through for them. And I don't know nothing about that world. And I think a lot of y'all, if you were lucky, you grew up in a world where you knew what a real man looked like. And I really think that number one, the real men got to stand up. And number two, we got to show that respect to those real men and let those men be men and really support them in whatever way that you can, in a way that's healthy for you. Because there's an important role that we play in the community, and I think about how many times my father came through for our family. I can think about how many times we didn't have enough, and my daddy went out there and made it happen, like Michael Jordan in the clutch. He came through and did what was necessary to make sure we were protected. He did what was necessary to make sure we were provided for. He was a superhero in that regard. And there are other men out there like that. And those men, here's the point, those men need to get honored and respected 10 times more than these dumbass rappers who are addicted to drugs, abandoning their babies left and right, rapping about killing other black people and throwing all their money away. That is not the culture that you want to embrace on any level. We need to really look at the real culture, which is where the real men live. So